Anybody have any questions?
I'd like to know a little bit more about the church. It's such a beautiful outfit. And who is the architect? And where did the money come from to build such a beautiful church in such a small community?
There wasn't money. They didn't have money. And they battled to build a church. But why such a big church, I don't know. I think it was to make a statement to prove that they needed a church in New Bethesda. But the only time I can remember that church full was when Aunt Nora van die Kerk was buried. She was 101 and she died. So, yeah. So I don't, I think but apparently they drew up the plans themselves. But they must have had help from somewhere. The pews are made of oak, and the pulpit and the frames of the doors and the windows are teak. So they went to a lot of trouble, and it is a beautiful church. And it much too big for the town at the moment. They had 15 ministers, 15 dominies from the time they were allowed to have a church. So it took 2 years to find somebody to come to New Bethesda. And the domini was paid bags of meal and the rights to run sheep and but they didn't have money to pay the dominis, so they battled to keep the dominis. First ones didn't even stay 2 years. The second one also didn't stay 2 years. Domini Weigel was a minister while Leonard Martins was there, stayed for 18 years. He stayed for quite a long time. But he was also there at the inauguration of the church. But nowadays they don't have a minister there anymore. They get somebody from town and pay him something. But there isn't a resident minister, which is certainly we could do with a minister that would serve both communities. But I'm afraid there isn't anybody. But they battled to pay for that church. They even had the cheek to ask the Grafenet church to help them at some stage after the minister told them they couldn't have a church. But one wonders if they had formed this village at Sierplaas or Groenvlei, where the minister thought it would be better. One wonders if it would have been more successful as a village then. I don't know.
No. The water.
Bethesda's got the water, that's what they said. They also said the soil is much better in Bethesda than elsewhere. I don't know.
The politics of Bethesda, and with the town council, they used to have 3 guys wanted this and 3 guys wanted that. So they had to find a mayor that could decide which was the best. Shall we have a stop street or not? No, they don't want a stop street. They do. So the mayor would say, do. And one day, apparently, somebody said something, and Hendrik van Heerden used to live in Bethesda, top it off. Yeah. And apparently somebody said something, and he said, gaan naar die hel toe. And so he said, meneer, hy het gesê ek moet hel toe gaan. En sê, wel ek sê vir jou, jy hoef nie te gaan.
Well, it's good to know there were 2 different sides at one stage. When I looked in this book, now the historical facts I got from a thesis that Evert Gerard Johannes de Graaf Schutte had written for a master's degree. And in this book, there's a picture of the Kerkraad. 3 wolfaards, 3 pienaars, and Stirring Retief. And we thought maybe the town was run for a long time by the wolfaards and the pienaars. And when the new people came in, it caused quite a bit of friction because the farmers still feel the town is theirs and they can make the decisions, and the new people don't feel that. So every now and again, people get very cross.
But it's the Lucerne lands are important in New Bethesda.
Yeah.
It isn't only the people.
Anybody else can contribute? I'm sure you can. Yes, Mika.
Say I think it was in 75 or 74, middle of 74, I started teaching Portugal. And I think in 75 or, well, not even 75, the former kids had to do great expectations. Great expectations. And we were doing this Hadisham who lives in the past for the villages. And the kid called put the hand and said, Juffrou, Miss Hadisham won in New Bethesda.
And one of the characters of New Bethesda was Billy Hartzenberg.
Yeah,
Everybody knew him.
yeah.
I won't say he ran the town, but if he saw anybody walking on the street, he didn't know, he said, come and have lunch.
And he never bothered to get to know your name. He called everybody Charlie or
No,
something.
Michael.
Michael. Everybody was Michael. Never bothered to get to know your name. And he was big, and Tiny was tiny. Yes, God. But come and tell us here.
I enjoyed your talk, but I don't want to disagree with you too much in many things.
Well, come and stand here and tell everybody what you don't agree with.
No, it's not that I disagree with you so much. But I, for instance, don't have the same feeling about as a few God that you have. As a few God, as far as I was concerned, was a bit
Communist.
too liberal and communist, master. Because he started this road on the road to Mecca, his book. Starts off with, what was the lady's name that picked up the story of the book? We start at the turn-off, the Bloemhof turn-off.
And that was a stupid part of the story. I agree with you.
So this lady stopped in the Volkswagen Beetle.
It was supposed to be his friend Ilsa.
Right. Gives this lady, a colored lady and a child, a lift in New Bethesda from. And this colored lady tells her the story. And the story was that she worked on a farm in Aberdeen, owned by Mr. Van Niekerk. And Mr. Van Niekerk chased her husband away from the farm. Didn't say why. And anyway, now she found herself on the road there. So Mr. Van Niekerk wasn't a very good guy. Now, and then the story goes on to say that, in my opinion, he put the people of Bethesda in a bad light. Tiny Hartenberg used to put a plate of food on Helen Martin's wall once a week.
Every day.
No? And the next day, Gertrude would do it, so they took turns. But every day she had a plate of food put on the wall. But yet, he cast them as bad characters, people of Bethesda, and they were good. Now, Helen Martin used to go sleep with my aunt, Mrs. Christian, every night. And there she got supper, and a warm plate of soup, or whatever. And in the early hours of the morning, she'd go back to her house. I know because I've had a pelleting machine that I've worked there next to her house. And she'd go to the post office before anybody. And the frost is about that thick, and she had on flip-flops. And at night, when it only starts getting dark, she come out of the house and go up to my aunt's house to go and sleep. So the people of Bethesda were good to her. And I was very fond of Helen myself. That little silk shirt that she wears and the black pleat skirt is still hanging in the house there. Now, I was involved in the United Party. And Helen Martins used to vote United Party. So with every debating society that we had, every election, I would go pick her up in my motor car and take her to go and vote or go to the debating society. So I think the people were quite good. So she was naughty. She made illegal brew. But she sold it, she was arrested. But that was to make some money to be able to buy cement. So yeah, Helen Martins is a character. I think she was 1998. She was 2 years older than my mother. And then also, are a few little stories about Bethesda. You spoke about the debating society and that type of thing. You realize that Bethesda at one stage and they had a boxing tournament. And one of the Lourdes, not Peter, his father, he sponsored a big trophy. And this was only for the Bethesda school. It was a sort of an inter-school thing for the area. Guys from Aberdeen, Craddock, Middelburg, Foxwater, Union High, Bethesda. And New Bethesda won every trophy in which they had a, what you call it, there were, I think, 5 gulus with pinard from the one side, and there was a pinard from up there by Dornberg. There was a Henny pinard, and Louis Bayes. The rest of them were all pinard. Sterling, Skak, Arnold, Renda, Barney. They were the gulus. Now the gulus were Arnold Pinard Sterling. And our Pinard Kritzinger, the heavyweight champion, he finished the Volkswagen. I mean, at Union High. He, the other day, or a little while ago, sent the trophy back to his estate. To the sports club at New Bethesda. So, yeah, we had boxing tournaments. I remember lots of plays. In those days, people used to come with a touring group. To not only Bethesda, but the Aberdeen probably, and Clarksnet, and Middelburg, and all over the place. And they would have a play, and people used to flock it. I went to school in 1946. Then there were 150 children in the school. In 1946. But then the school was up to standard 6. After that, you had to go to Clarksnet. Some of us didn't make it. There were only 3 of us. And we time to come out and then was able with the English medium. So we had to come up. David was a year younger than us. Rodney Berger started with Sapais. So the 5 of us started at a hostel called Ethel House, number 1 Berg Street, run by Mrs. Beasley. So yeah, but then the school in those days was about 40 or 150, and it was up to 76.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you, God. Thank you very much. That's lovely. All the information I don't have. Anybody else has too. I'm sure Claire can also tell us a lot more. Thanks, God. I think that's about it.
Well, thanks so much for all those inputs.
Yeah, no, that's what we want. That's wonderful.
Idil, thank you so much, especially for braving it, coming out on a day like this. And Cropernet does owe New Bethesda a lot. I think probably the most important is the water that you send down to fill our dam on a day like today.
Stupid of us.
rather, but we're grateful. I think all us Cropernetters, we really do identify with New Bethesda. We see it as a suburb of ours. We lay claim to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I totally disagree about the nothing good comes from New Bethesda. I mean, look at you and Claire, and you're not looking at Jerry Gardner. But yeah, my memories of Helen Martin are very small. I used to go out with Barbie, Claire's daughter, and we'd go and spend the weekend on that train. Pardon? Yes, exactly. But we, in our mind, we were little. I mean, it was junior school. We thought of Helen Martin as this mad woman, and we would go and look through the thing. And if she came out of her house, we would run away. We were so frightened. I don't know what we thought would happen to us, but we didn't want to see her.
Different children had different memories. Often in a restaurant, people would come to me and say, you know, I made that Campusberg. We loved going to Helen Martin. She allowed us to sit on the camels and to play around, and others were scared of her. They were different memories.
But then also Ethel Fugard, I didn't, obviously wasn't expecting this out. Didn't go and check my Google News again, but I mean at stage, just literally like last year or something, there was somewhere in the world at any given time an Ethel Fugard play was being put on, which I think is quite fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean,
and people from America told me when a play of his was put on, it was full, was always booked out,
yes.
and often extended and extended.
Yeah.
I think he had more we was appreciated more in America than here.
Probably, yeah. But thank you very much. I mean, you've got some of your old pupils, Antoinette, who you taught at Middleburg, and I don't know, I saw there's Antoinette in the back there. And I don't know, I just heard Fee saying she also knows you from before you.
We just met by chance in Cape Town before she came here.
Yeah. But thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Idil. It was lovely to hear, so many little snippets of New Bethesda's history and the characters that lived there. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Thank you for coming.
Uncle Bill Hartzenberg was huge, and Aunt Tiny was tiny. But Aunt Tiny, what I remember of Aunt Tiny was she had a lovely brass bowl. And on a winter's day, she would warm the cups in hot water before she poured her tea.
Well, on that note, please join us for tea.
Thank you. Thank you.